Classes in session, college basketball, hitting the book show Tuesday, November 25th. Ian Cameron, Connor Mack, and we're here to talk Tuesday college basketball. We've got wall-to-wall, morning, noon, and night college basketball this week throughout Feast Week. Tons of action going on, and of course, we've still got a lot ahead here for the Tuesday night slate, so we'll break it all down for you throughout the next little bit. Just a couple games that I'm going to throw out there that are going to be getting underway in the next hour. And they actually are two of the bigger games. We've got just about to start. I think they're going to tip off in like 5-10 minutes in Maui. Seton Hall, USC. I'm on Seton Hall. I really think this is a good bet. This is one of my favorite bets of today. Taking Seton Hall.
I'm on.
A 7.5. Seton Holloway is a good underdog. This is a team that, we saw yesterday a very good NC State team that was off to a great start. And Seton Hall just out-toughed them, played physical, got after it defensively. That's what you get out of Seton Hall, and that's what you get out of Holloway coach teams. And they played very well. I think they give USC a battle. I thought, USC's as talented as it gets. Musselman's recruited well, but they looked a little sloppy. They didn't play their best yesterday against Boise, and I'm here to tell you, Seton Hall's better than Boise. So I think Seton Hall is going to, like I said, be a big test here for USC, and I think they can hang in that game start to finish. So I like the idea of getting 7.5 with them in that game. And then Houston, Tennessee coming up in Las Vegas, CMAC's neck of the woods. What a game that's going to be. Two terrific programs, of course, two great coaches, Kelvin Sampson, Rick Barnes. I have watched Houston over the years to know when they're unbelievably on their game and when they're not. I don't think Houston's been on their game constantly this year. I don't know what it is about Houston. For some reason, they have not brought their A game to the basketball court on more than a few occasions this year, and they almost paid the price for it last night against Syracuse. Now, you got to give Syracuse a lot of credit. They played one hell of a game. Great effort there from that Syracuse team, and falling short in overtime. But, pushing Houston like that, and now Houston's got to come back. I think there's a case to be made with the way Tennessee's looked to maybe consider plus the points here with the Volunteers in this game. Like the way they're playing. Obviously, they can defend at a pretty high level as well. Feels like it could be a one-possession game, and this number was at 3.5 at one point. So I think Tennessee plus 3.5 might be something to consider there in that game as well. And I went a little contrarian with the total in that game. Usually Houston, we like to look at unders, but thought 133 might just be a little bit too low, considering Houston has been playing the same great defense at times this year, and Tennessee can score. And I think here Houston's capable offensively of making some things happen as well. So, and also the coming off the fatigue of that Syracuse game might hurt Houston a little bit at the defensive end. So, a little contrarian with the total. I went over 133 in there. C-Mac, do you have any opinions on those two games?
Yeah, let's give you a break. He's dying over there.
I know.
That guy needs to rest. I think Houston needs to get a little bit, just some more production from a lot of this guy. You know what I mean? Sharp, obviously, the guy who's going to be scoring, but Tugler, he hasn't really, had many good games of late. I think he just had 2 against Syracuse. I can't remember when he's been in double figures, but yeah, that's a watch for me. I am on Seton Hall. A lot of flack for this team, saying they were going to be at the bottom. And the big key in this game, because I think they're better defensively than SC. That's why I want it. I want the points with them here. They got to be able to hit shots, but I think they can. I haven't been impressed with SC defensively, at least. And Boise kind of, plenty of opportunities, I think, kind of just struggled a little bit in yesterday's game. So, yeah, a lot of love, of course, USC, but I'm on Seton Hall in that game. You got anything else?
No,
later?
I'll just throw it right back to you first.
Okay, let's go.
With the games still to come tonight.
Let's get to it. This line's dropped, but in college basketball, it doesn't bother me too much when I see two teams. But this team has a little bit gotten me at times, but I just don't think they're great defensively. We know Florida Gulf Coast wants to get up and down. Is the over? This is down to 148. I'm on the over here. 148.5. I thought the number at 150 was about a go. These defenses haven't been very good, of course. Rice, the one struggle is, but I think they could have success against Florida Gulf Coast. They're just going to get up and down. You know what I mean? Like, the one thing that keeps this under is them scoring in the 60s. Like something like that, having a bad shooting night. But I disagree with the move here. I got to be, if I see 140s, I got to be on the over. Rice, Florida Gulf Coast. Here's another one. This is a tricky spot because they haven't been on the road yet. And do I trust it? This happens all the time in November. That's K-State here. Indiana's at home, who's looked very good. But this is kind of the sleepy spot. No tournament, but they're at home. There won't be any students there. Because usually, they're home court. Very, very good. It's always pumped there. And it still should be solid. But I thought it was large here at 10.5 with K-State. And I'm looking at their way. I'm really to grab these points. Their defense hasn't looked great, Kansas State, so far. I just thought the number was large here. So 10.5 there. I have a few more games here. Leans, the late night. I'd say, I don't know what we're getting from Washington State. I'd lay it with Arizona State, which is crazy. The 5.5. I just, we saw how they played
with Arizona State and Texas last night.
Texas.
Great game on
Maui. Very good game. So that was one I don't really love laying 5.5, but I take Arizona State in that game. And you know what? I got burned. It's a pretty good day yesterday, college basketball. But I was on San Diego State. I like Auburn here. I don't trust Michigan to do it again. Shoot the ball that well. San Diego State just played so sloppy. Like, kind of hung around in the first half. Of course, just when shit rolls downhill, it rolls downhill. You can't make a shot. Michigan making everything. Give me Auburn here. I think they're live tonight.
No doubt. And
that many points.
Yeah, and San Diego State, I kind of feel the same way about San Diego State, where I feel like they've got a better game than them here
tonight against Oregon.
Against Oregon. That being said, I love Dean Altman in Oregon too, but Dutcher knows his way around a neutral court type of thing and setting as well. And they're getting the slight bit of point. And again, Oregon to me is not a bet on team in November. They're a bet on team in January, late January, February, and March especially. That's when you want to be betting on Oregon. That's always when he cranks that team up and they start playing their best basketball. So, yeah, I like San Diego State there a little bit as a dog. UNLV Bama, it's a high total. I still went over. I actually kind of want to take UNLV a little bit just because it's a big number. Bama's coming off that big game against Gonzaga. I don't know how enthusiastic they're going to be about laying 13.5, 14 or winning by that kind of margin coming off last night. Not to mention, this game's starting at 9 p.m. locally in Las Vegas around that time. That's a huge advantage as far as your body and your system for UNLV. Alabama's not used to playing, games at that time of night. So you got to think UNLV. And UNLV's getting a little bit better. They had a bad second half against Maryland last night, but they were in that game for most of it, and then just kind of let it slip away from them late. But they're starting to get a little bit better after a rough start to the year. So I think it's just a few too many points there with Bama and UNLV.
I think this one, gets up and down after a little bit of the struggle second half last night, especially UNLV with this Bama defense is hitting their threes. Gibbs, Lawhorn, some of these guys, and some yesterday. I think Williamson was 1 from 6. They, if they're a little bit better, I think they kind of can hang around. But still, they have issues defensively. UNLV, that's shown in some of these games they've had early, and then they have the great game where they beat Memphis. But I think we get plenty of points, and they can hang in that number, especially if they shoot it well.
Something I want to point out, too, because I'm on Northern Iowa right now against Loyola Chicago, who are terrible right now. Loyola Chicago still has not covered a point spread this year, not one. And if they lose again today, they'll be 0-7 against the spread if they lose by 8 or more to Northern Iowa, because the point spread was 7 there for Northern Iowa as a favorite. I laid the 7. That's how they are awful, Loyola Chicago. And if they fail to cover, I say just keep betting against them until they finally are able to cash a ticket and cover a number, because they haven't covered one single point spread yet this year, Loyola Chicago. It looks real. They just look awful. They're not defending. The offensive shot making hasn't been there. It's almost like the heart of that basketball team and program's been ripped out after Sister Jean passed away. Like it's crazy. Ever since she passed away, it's like they've just turned to this awful team all of a sudden. So pretty crazy how that's worked. But again, I say keep fading Loyola Chicago until they give you a reason to stop at this point.
And people saw that Northern Iowa, pretty good basketball team. A team I always like to look to when, especially when they're at home.
They're going to have a good team this year, Northern Iowa. Yes.
Yeah.
They could win the Missouri Valley. Yep.
All the love, but people, I still think, wow, we're getting Loyola Chicago with these points. I mean, it was 8.5. It dropped to what? 6.5. Yep. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Which was a little bit strange, I guess, going off kind of years past than how bad this basketball team is right now, which is always what we do around here, right? We got to find the edges and everything that's rolling on from day to day.
No doubt. All right, I'll just Brian. We're going to keep the show very, very short. Stay on for another 5 minutes or so. I'll just give you my list of games that I like tonight. Just rapid fire. Taking the Bonnies tonight. It's a neutral court. St. Bonaventure plus 11 against North Carolina. I think it's a lot of points. Yeah. I think they might get inside that number in that one. Bill and his bitch in Abilene. I like the over in that game. I like Omaha against James Madison. There's a slight underdog there.
What do you think about the over? I thought it was just a little bit high, but I kind of, at 156, right?
Right. Yeah.
Right around there.
I lean over a little bit there now that it's fallen.
Yeah.
Here's speaking of overs, I like the over in Campbell Wake, 159.5. Lean Campbell. Quinnipiac UCF, I really like that over. I think that game goes over the total. Quinnipiac Central Florida. I think there's points in that game. What else here? Oh, I like this spot. I like this team. Last night, every team's going to have a shit game and they can't make a shot. Murray State had that game last night against McNeese State. They just couldn't make anything. But they're a good basketball team. They've been playing well. I like this spot here. Bounce back after last night, getting 7.5 against George Washington. The Revolutionaries, as they're called now. They're not the Colonials anymore. They're the Revolutionaries. I like the 7.5 with Murray State in that game. Every Murray State game had gone over the total this season until last night. So I kind of lean over as well, just because, look, they shot probably their worst shooting night of the season last night. So I think Murray bounces back there. Another over I like. It looks like everybody else does because this total's gone up 5 points. Kansas State, Indiana. I think that's a high score game too. A lot of points in that one. Lean Indiana, but it's a lot of points to lay. But that being said, Kansas State doesn't defend anything so far this year. So Indiana should score it well. I like the over. Lean Indiana there in that game. What else have we got here? Oh, this is one of my favorite sides. Georgia Southern. It's gone up 1.5 to 3. UTSA is horrendous. They're horrible. Awful team so far this year, UTSA. This is a team, their first home game. They got blown out as an 8-point favorite, and they lost by double digits to Edwardsville. So they have not looked good, the Roadrunners of UTSA. Stick to watching the football team right now. Don't watch the basketball team because they're not very good. I think Georgia Southern is the right side there. I got a cheap money line earlier today. I say you can still lay the 3.5 with Georgia Southern. I think they're a lot better than UTSA. So I like that one there. Yeah. Cal, little small lean to them, plus the points against UCLA. That game's at a neutral court. The Chase Center is where that game is being played. So there's a couple more. If we go down the list, Ole Miss plus 4. Once it got, and I like Iowa. You guys know that. I think with McCollum there, they're just going to have a much better coach. But 4.5 now to be able to take those kind of points.
Pretty rich.
Yeah.
At 4.5 now on a neutral. Iowa that good here?
Yeah, I think it's too high now. So I said I had to swoop in and grab Ole Miss there at plus 4.5. I think it's cheap with George Mason. George Mason Tony Skinn's done a great coaching job there. They play defense, they rebound. I don't know if this is vintage Florida Atlantic. I think George Mason's pretty cheap there. I'll lay the number now. 4.5's cheap to me.
to touch on that game, it's a stay away for me. I've been surprised how well Florida Atlantic's played. I mean, to start even the year.
I don't think it's going to last, but maybe it does. But I just think George Mason's just better.
Yeah, they have a couple scores. This is moved because George Mason dictates this game. It could stay under. Yep. But Florida Atlantic not great defensively if they're making shots, and this is moved from 141 to 144. What happens? This kind of a game that was a little bit back and forth. Well, I think George Mason's better. I think 5's a little much on this neutral. It was tough for me, and I kind of leaned over. But if George Mason, this defense clamps down, I could see it staying under. That was an interesting game rolling through today that I looked at a lot.
And just a couple on the added board before we wrap it up. The over with Tennessee State Asheville. Laid it was Marist -7 against Lehigh. Lehigh is pitiful from what I've seen. So I think Marist is going to end up winning that game by margin there against them. I still don't trust Penn State. I know Boston's not great, but I took Boston +4.5, 14.5 against Penn State. I still don't fully trust the Nittany Lions as this kind of a favorite. They haven't been great in that kind of situation. Everyone's on Hampton, but I am too. But now it's 5.5 now. It's been such a big move, but I thought they were pretty cheap against Maryland Eastern Shore, who aren't very good at all. Austin Peay, I think you lay it with them against Northern Illinois. I think it's a little bit of a rough spot for Northern Illinois, so I like the Governors there of Austin Peay in that game. And a couple overs, Missouri game over, and the Winthrop, Nebraska over. I like that one as well. So there you go. That's pretty much it.
Yeah. I don't mind that. I think, not that I'm crazy about run dude, I think you lay it with Nebraska there too. Not that I'm rushing to 14.5, but I think they get the cover in that game. Yeah, on the extra board, there wasn't a ton. Can I trust the team? Stetson was a look. I don't think so. Not right now. You know what I mean? They were, and there's 9.5s. We're definitely kind of a look there. You touched on Hampton, which is moved just a ton, and I think too much. But, interesting game here late tonight you get on. And this is in Palm Springs, this the Classic, Grand Canyon, Utah.
Yeah, Akron. No, that was at the Huntsman Center, that game. Yeah, Grand Canyon.
I'm looking it up, but I don't see it there.
Yeah.
I see it because the game before that's Iowa, Mississippi. Yes. That's there. Because this line would not be where it's at. That's basically a home game. It's got to
be in Acrisure Arena. That's got to be a mistake on the odds screen then. Yeah.
It's a mistake. Yep. So, but that Grand Canyon playing very well. Utah finally drops one to Cal Poly. I think there's still
that was a great Aussie group that sang a song named like that. It's a mistake. Men at work. It's a mistake.
Men at work.
A mistake. Yeah.
What might be a mistake? I think Grand Canyon's talented. I don't know. I kind of lean Utah in that game, but might be more just I got to see more from them. High total that's come down too to 154.5. There.
Good stuff. Yeah, I'm on the Stars tonight. It's a terrible spot. Terrible spot for Edmonton. They're off a very, very long road trip in the hockey game. The only NHL game tonight. Yeah. Terrible spot. I actually like first period full game.
I kind of like it
with Dallas.
Yeah.
Because
I like a little first period.
Road trip have been really bad in the early going. Look at the Islanders. Great road trip, but long road trip. They came back home, faced the Blues on Saturday. First game after the road trip. Blues scored in the first minute and led the first period and won the game. So it's always a tough spot, especially when you had a good end of the road trip and Edmonton beat Florida. Satisfying win against Florida, the team that's beaten them twice in a row in the Stanley Cup final the last 2 years. So, yeah, very tough spot for Edmonton. So I think Dallas is the way to go there in that.
I like it first period. I'm going to have a piece of it too. I think I can get a +115 too that I got.
Yeah, I think the first period is +110, and you can get up to
most places
+120 with the full game for the Stars.
Yeah.
It's worth a look. I agree. Worth a look. Yeah.
I like it for sure.
Yeah.
All right.
That's a wrap. Oh, good luck with your parlay there. Houston, St. John's, and Arizona State. I have no parlays. I don't do too many parlays with college basketball, but good luck with yours.
We talked about it. I like Arizona State. So
Yep.
especially a parlay just to win, obviously, or does he have it?
Connor Mack is like me. We try to make more of a case for the underdog before the favorite. So when he likes a favorite, take notice. There you go. Yeah.
Yeah. When I talk about it too, I will be on more once we kind of get out of this Thanksgiving, a little bit of Christmas, like conference play, team losing on the road, coming back home. I want to jump on favorites or even team totals. I'll do that more and more because I think it's worked out a ton in spots in college basketball. So,
and then there's conference play too. They're a team that we thought, hey, they're at home, they're playing a team they're better than, but they play a horrible game as favorites, and then they go on the road, and then they're catching points, and that's sometimes when you want to back them. Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah.
And we get through all that. All teams are defensively, and we talk in basketball more. I want a team that could maybe shoot it if we're taking a dog like that, which we talk a bunch about.
Yeah,
like we want a team in basketball to be able to make shots because it can be a struggle if you're bad offensively to kind of cover a number, especially if it's bigger or backdoor type thing.
Yep.
As crazy college basketball could get.
Yes.
At the end of a game. So, all right, that's it, my brother. Anything else?
That's it.
Get
we're
rest
out of
up.
Here. We're done. We're going to get some rest now. We didn't have as many shows today. Tomorrow's going to be a busy day. I'll have the Ice Guys with a huge NHL card on Wednesday. We'll have the NBA show tomorrow. We will have our members-only show for Hitting the Books tomorrow. So, again, jump on board, minimal amount to be a member and subscriber of the channel, and you'll have access to our Wednesday, Friday Hitting the Books shows, which are exclusive to our Hitting the Books channel members. So, be ready for that tomorrow. And, of course, we'll be on again with that on Friday as well.
Yes, and on Friday, we love doing those shows. Become a member. Shout out to all the members in the green. How about Bowling Green? 28.
Yeah, that was a bad bet. I didn't want to bring that up, but yeah. Dumb.
Yeah, but I don't blame you. I mean, when we were talking about it, I was just thinking, dead last offense, dead last defense. Can you do it?
They don't even care.
I guess
trying to win a game at home. They're going to go 0-12, and I guess that's that. They probably
just
know we're not good enough. You know, when you go take the field and you think, oh, we're not good enough, here we go again. It's hard.
Yeah, I know. That is crazy.
For them to be this, like Bowling Green have not done anything on offense, and here they got 28 points, and it's like the first half. Yep.
I know. We'll have to our guy Evan here, Evander Kane. Evander Kane's bookie. I love that. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. I love that, dude. We will have going forward, once football's done here, Mondays we'll have shows, college basketball, of course, Tuesdays.
Yeah.
And we'll even think Thursday, depending on how it goes. But we'll have more of a schedule and the games up. So, but man, you'll have your bets. I'll probably say, you know what I mean? We'll have it and have the games up on the board.
We'll talk about 5 games. We're going to do a starting five regularly where we highlight the 5 biggest games, talk about them, then my games, CMAX games, and best bets. It'll be more of a structure later in the season for sure.
Yeah, definitely.
College basketball.
In full swing. So we'll hopefully, have a little graphics popped in.
Yeah.
I know you'll definitely like that.
Until the end of the year, it's pretty much going to be this. We're going to be doing Monday college football, Tuesday college basketball, and then we'll do our member shows on Wednesdays and Fridays. That'll be till the end of the year, and then we'll probably,
ramp it up. Yeah,
ramp it up a bit in January in the new year. Yep, with college basketball. With college basketball, that is. Yep,
for sure. Always.
But important to note, even though we've only got the one full college basketball show a week right now on Tuesdays, we're talking a ton of college basketball Wednesdays and Fridays on the member show.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And right now the Fridays are good.
Yeah.
Still, because once January hits, Fridays will be those short, small cards, and which are small games, which I love to attack, but it won't be as big and broad as we've been getting these kind of cards on a Friday. So, but they're still fun. Gotta love those January, February, Friday cards in college basketball.
That's right.
Always find a good amount of value on these small schools, which I love so much.
And of course, when we get into January, the Friday shows are going to be, which will still be members shows. College basketball Friday, we'll talk about it, but it'll be a big Saturday preview.
And we'll do our previews.
Yeah.
Speaking of that, all videos are cut up for college football. I'll even think about going forward. Fridays, we do that. Maybe we could pop those out Friday night to Saturday on the channel as well. I'll get on it, get on the grind, and have those out by Friday after the show, all day Saturday, to basically have up on the channel.
Yep,
that is it. You ready?
That's it. Best bets. That's the last thing we got to do. Best bet. What do you got?
I was gonna go with that Rice over. Maybe if I get burned here twice, come back and everyone can just rip me tomorrow. Give me Auburn plus 5.5. Best number I got. I think Michigan's pretty good. They can score, but I think Auburn has the weapons to stay with them on a neutral. 5.5. Auburn, best bet.
All right, there you go. Auburn plus 5.5. Best bet for Connor Mack. I'm going to go to Georgia Southern. Georgia Southern's my favorite side left on the card. Minus 3.5 against UTSA. UTSA has been dreadful, and I think Georgia Southern is able to beat them by margin. So Georgia Southern minus 3.5 against UTSA for my best bet here for this Tuesday in college basketball. All right, that's a wrap, everybody. Great show. Hit the like button on the way out. Yeah. For Connor Mack, I'm Ian Cameron. Have a great Tuesday night. Enjoy the games, and good luck. And we will be back tomorrow, Wednesday, 5 p.m. Eastern, 2 p.m. Pacific, members-only edition of the Hitting the Book show. We'll see you then. Until then, class dismissed.